What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Of course, you know it's your boy B-Hot Radio Shout, and as always, I got my podcast partner off in this thing, the original hot boy himself, Mr. YNT. Turk, what up, though?
Hey, man, that Joseph, y'all already know what it is. Joseph Elm on the way, you heard me? But today, we got a special friend of the podcast in the building. Introduce him, man.
Hey, man, first of all, this guy right here, you know, you might catch him at the White House politicking, okay? You might catch him at Harvard, you know, teaching. You see what I'm saying? You might catch him in New Orleans in the trap saving lives at the same time. Mr. Dee-1, what the hell is going on, sir?
Everything you just said is 100% facts, my brother.
Ain't that crazy?
I'm in all them places.
Come on, man.
From the trenches to the White House, to Harvard University, to the studio, to right here with my dogs, Beehive and Turk.
For real.
Okay, now, Dee-1, let's just get straight to it, though, man. I mean, you just left the White House. What was going on, sir?
Man, so just left the White House, brother, with some amazing leaders from around the country who are all committed to gun violence prevention, right? The White House currently has a whole office dedicated to gun violence prevention in urban cities and urban communities. So you got people that's doing this work, right?
Yeah.
They community leaders, they're violence interventionists all around the country. So this ain't the laws, you heard me? This ain't the police. This is people that's living in the hoods, in the streets, that know how to diffuse these conflicts. That know, like, man, this how we really, it's only 1% of people that's committing violent crimes. I don't know if y'all knew that. Only 1% of people inside each city commit violent crimes.
My God.
So they're like, man, we got relationships with the ones that's pulling the triggers.
Yeah.
So we went to the White House, we got to sit. Man, I gave a speech at the White House, bro. Like,
my God.
I'm still sitting here like, Lord, what are you doing in my life, man? I gave a speech at the White House, just talking, being able to give my personal testimony, how I've been in close proximity to gun violence, from one of my students getting killed by another one of my students back when I was a middle school teacher, getting shot, to my best friend in New Orleans East where we grew up at getting murdered. My God. To me being a college student, having that iron right here on my head, 3 dudes run up on me and my boy, you know, while I was playing basketball, armed robbery, you know, act like they about to blow my brains out. For me to have, growing up listening to people like him, you heard me? Listening to their music, knowing all the lyrics, you heard? I'm about whatever you want, we can do it. Triggers I yank, like
station I'ma run through it.
All that, bro. So being like, dang, I've been around guns and gun violence my whole life, but now the way that I'm interacting with violence is, let's use all them experiences, all that trauma, all that music that poured into us, and let's take it to the highest heights. We at the White House, and we talking to them about the resources that people need in the cities in order to make this gun violence decrease and go down.
But do it take going to the White House to get people in our community to wake up? Because the White House, like you said, man, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe that the White House can relate to us. You know what I'm saying? Why go way to the White House when you could go to the Black House, you know what I'm saying? In the communities and talk to the people direct. What difference would the White House make from the Black House?
Beautiful question, dog. The difference is, the White House can fund the work. Because all too often in the hood, we expect people who got a big heart to do work for free. Oh, man, you trying to change the community? That's good, brother. You should be volunteering your services. The White House got that bag to where it's like, you got a good heart, you in the community making a difference, man, you deserve to make a fair wage, you heard me? A comfortable living off of doing that. That's the difference. The White House could literally say, all right, we're going to dedicate $5 billion throughout the country. We're going to spread it out to all the people that's doing that work. And that's actually what they did.
So is it about the money, or is it about, changing the community? Because every so often you have people just like us, you know what I'm saying, who find out how to get these, what they 501c3
nonprofit organizations.
All the nonprofit organizations, but then, I seen and respect to Charleston White, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, because Charleston White, he do what he do, but I seen him saying, fuck the community. I ain't in the community no more. I'm in the strip clubs now. I'm doing my thing now, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to do this no more. You know what I'm saying? Is it serious enough that people are really trying to make change, or are they trying to make change?
Yeah. Well, you got people that's trying to make change because they understand that impact should always come before income. You heard me? It's that simple in life, brother. Like, some people realize that the greatest gift you can give to this world is to positively impact somebody's life, so that now, like Tupac said, I might not change the world, but I guarantee you I'm going to spark the brain of the person that will change the world. When Tupac died, he wasn't no 100 millionaire. He might not even had $1 million to his name, but you can't tell me he ain't make change, even if he wasn't making all the change, you feel me? So impact over income is gonna always have a person like, nah, that's what we need to prioritize. Unfortunately, in the community and in the industry that we in, you got people that wanna make income first and foremost, and then they're like, all right, after I make the income, then I'll focus on making some impact. But what happens is you get addicted to the income. And when you get addicted to how you started making the income, the impact is just like that diet you said you was gonna go on. You keep pushing it back. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start next week. I'm gonna start next month. Oh yeah, it's just like that thing you keep procrastinating on. So all we see is a whole bunch of artists in our industry who have made a bunch of income and a whole bunch of community activists. I hate what you just said about Charleston White, bro. That dude really said that?
He said
That's
that. He
horrible,
said that,
bro.
I believe it was with Sean Cotton. And, you know, I respect Charleston White. There's no disrespect to him, but I just wanted to, like, make a comparison to what our people be doing when they find out there's a check involved, you know what I'm saying? Because we come from poverty, bro, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I think some of us like to get in those high places to get those checks, you know what I'm saying? And it don't be real, man, you know what I'm saying? So how do we know when it's real from when it's fake, you know what I'm saying? And it's all about that bad.
Only God is going to know the heart. God is going to be able to judge the heart, you know what I'm saying? I think that the people closest to violence are the most qualified people to be the solutions to violence. So the ones who done committed the crimes, what about a person who shot somebody when they was younger, might have took somebody's life, and now or they got into a shootout with the police and they had to do 8 years, 8 months, you heard me, maybe 16 days or something like that in jail. And what about when they come home and they like, man, I done learned so much. I done changed my ways, you heard me? That's the most qualified people to speak on what the solution should be. Right. So I feel like, man, it's a blessing when you got people that's close to the streets that want to be the solution, but them people don't deserve to be out there hurting and starving. Just, man, peace and positivity is profitable. Yeah. And when we could show that to a 12-year-old, he'd be like, wait, what? Peace is profitable? Oh, well, I'm going to choose peace. I don't want to choose chaos and violence.
Facts.
But we got to be able to show them that. And I'm a person who, I'm just like, yo, I'm going to let the success speak for me. I never wanted to show that I'm making money based on the jewelry I got on. I don't mind wearing fake jewelry, me. I don't care about wearing fake jewelry. That don't make me no less of a made man. That don't make me no less of a person making impact in this world. Definitely don't make me no less of a dope rapper. You heard me? Like, we just gotta look at what our priorities are, man, as grown men. Because your priorities when you was a teenager shouldn't still be your priorities when you're in your 40s and your 50s, in my opinion.
New album loaded, though, sir.
Yeah.
Project Pat.
Yes, sir.
Fredo Bang.
Yes, sir.
How do we make these collabs happen, man?
Man, authenticity opens doors that money and talent can't open. You heard me? So when you just authentic, bro, you'll have people, bro. The Uber driver who brought me over here to this interview right now, I get in the car with dude, he start to flipping out, bro, talking about, man, this how I know God is real. You heard me? And he's sitting here telling me his testimony about what all he going through and how my music done blessed him so much and all that. Crazy. Man, authenticity have you out here reaching and impacting people that you didn't even know you was on their radar.
That's right.
The way a Project Pat collaboration comes about is real recognize real. I see Project Pat in the prisons now. I see Project Pat doing work, getting people saved. They giving their life to Christ because of Project Pat. Yeah. Project Pat look at me and see this young brother is a disruptor. This young brother is kicking that real. He could really spit and he fearless and he keeping God first everywhere he go. And that forms a connection. Next thing you know, it forms a hit record. We got a record called All Glory to God. That mug crazy.
All Glory to God from Project Pat.
Boy, you got a head.
Come on, man.
You gonna trip out. I'm gonna play it for you before we leave out of here today.
So Fredo Bang come from, you know, banging, you know what I'm saying? And for the youngsters that listen to Fredo Bang and they hear Fredo Bang on a record with you and they say, I thought he was about peace, but they see Fredo Bang as they see Fredo Bang. How do you explain that to a youngster that don't understand you doing a record with a Fredo Bang?
I was Fredo Bang's middle school teacher. So if I wouldn't do a record with a Fredo Bang, I have failed as a mentor. I have failed as a big dog in his life. He looked at me as a big bro. So regardless of mistakes he done made, jail time he done did, any of that stuff, I should never turn my back on him. And one way to continue to build our relationship, we FaceTime, we talk, you know, we do all that stuff. But another way to strengthen that bond is when I'm in Miami, you heard me? Shoot, I pulled up on him, we hop in the lab, and we create this record that is true to his brand. He ain't on there trying to sound like Dee-1, and true to my brand. I ain't on there trying to sound extra street and extra gangster. The record is called I Apologize, you know what I mean? Banger, bro. And man, when people hear it, like, I just realized God created me to be a bridge in this world. Because there are too many people that's on opposite sides, Democrats and Republicans, black and white, the streets and the college.
We got independents too.
We definitely got independent. I'm independent.
Kennedy.
Yeah, look, he gonna plug it.
Yeah, all the time, man. You did. Yeah.
So we got these people who, we all human beings, but we temporarily forget that we human beings, and we just look at what's different about us, right? And I'm like, dang, God, you really created me to be that bridge between both of these sides so that we don't lose sight of the fact that we all in this thing called life together, man. And,
So what about the people, D1? We gonna cut to the case.
Come on, man.
Cut to the chase.
Yeah.
What about the people saying, okay, you criticize one group of people from talking about violence, shoot 'em up, bang, bang, but you rocking with Hot Boy Turk, and he still talk about that. What you gotta say to the people, because they wanna know, like, where do that go? Because you just was about to fight with a Jim Jones. You just was about to get into it with a Rose. You know what I'm saying? About their lyrics. But do that make D1 a hypocrite to the people? Because we need to know now.
Right.
How do you explain that?
Yeah, I explain it by the same way that Jesus sat with everybody, man. Jesus sat with tax collectors, he sat with thieves, he sat with all kind of sinners. And the difference was when he sat with them, it wasn't so he could fit in with them. He sat with them so he could shine his light in those spaces. So if I'm ever in any of these spaces that you just spoke about, Turk, and if I'm not shining my light, if I'm not being me, then maybe D1 is changing and trying to fit in and all that. But that's not what's happening right now, man. I'm so confident about who God has made me and the ability to be everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere that I should be. And if I shouldn't be there, I ain't forcing it to try to be there. You feel me?
Thanks.
So it's just that simple, bro. Like, I'm not a dude that's going out my way to try to get street cred. What is street cred to a man of God? Like weigh them up against each other. When I know who I'm serving and when I know that my blessings are eternal, what is street cred? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I wanted street cred, I wouldn't be driving a Honda Accord right now, you know? I wouldn't be out here, I wouldn't be out here pushing stuff that I know is gonna be unpopular to the culture, but that I know is gonna be powerful to the kingdom. You hear me?
Facts.
So I'm just doing that just to show people that it's possible, but also to show people that, dang, whatever D1 is fueled by, whatever it is, whether it's that bambusi, you heard me, or whether it's whatever D1 is on, I want some of that. And that's when I tell him, man, I ain't on nothing but I'm high on life, bro.
I'm on that bambusi right now. You did. Yeah, I'm just ain't acting stupid. You did.
Question though, D, were you and Ross ever able to get some clarity in that situation? Because the last time we talked, you know, it was a heated moment in hip hop, okay? And what, you know, happened from that?
Yeah, no communication with Rick Ross since then.
Okay.
None. A bunch of people who know both of us, but it seemed like nobody don't be willing to be that bridge and be like, D, I'm concerned, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing what's going on. I know you and I know Rose. Let me be the bridge to at least have it to where you brothers can maybe have an understanding or find common ground. Nobody ain't did that, bro. I think people like the drama. I think people like the mess. You heard me?
Because one thing I will say, I know Turk and Ross had some words too as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. No, it went down between them two now.
Nah. We didn't have no words. I just spoke my mind, and then Ross responded, and I didn't react back to the respond. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I didn't react because, you know, when you can take accountability and understand, and that's the type of person that I am, the type of man that I am, you know, I think when Rose did hit me, he didn't hit me. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I didn't, you know, take it, you know, as a you know, a person should have took it. I took the high road, you know, when he spoke about my wife and this, that, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to escalate the situation. But by me doing that, you know what I'm saying, I seen that he probably had a wake-up call like, you know what, Dan, I probably wasn't right about that, man. I said that. I shouldn't have dealt with that like that, because Ross have been, you know, liking on my pictures and liking the content that I've been pushing lately, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if that's his way of saying, you know, my bad, you know what I'm saying? But I don't have no problem with people having a misunderstanding sometimes. It's just us as people, bro, we come from the struggle, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just at an age and at a mindset right now where I can understand all angles because I done been there. I'm striving for perfection. I'm not perfect. So I'm not gonna be the one that gonna judge you based off of what you say, but I'm a respond the way how I need to respond based on, you know, the knowledge that I know. You know what I'm saying? And if I know that this gonna cause an issue, I'm gonna fall back, even if it hurt. There's a lot of shit be hurting, but I'm gonna sit back and be like, you know what, I'm gonna let time fix it, you know what I'm saying? And that's just what that was. But, you know, it's all love, bro. I don't got no problem with nobody, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ross, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Word.
D, when you look up and you find your philosophies popping up in podcasts all over the place.
Nah. He didn't answer that about Ross.
About Ross?
Yeah.
I would love to have that dialogue with him. I would love to have that dialogue. So, you know, if anybody could make that happen, I mean, cool. I think it'd be healthy for hip hop. You hear me? And it don't gotta be public. It could be behind the scenes, just to where he know, like, I didn't have no malicious.
Make it happen.
Yeah, somebody watching, I'm sure could.
Yeah, he watching.
Oh, word. Yeah. I'm sure, because at the end of the day, unless you are serving the devil, unless you are like, I'm out here working for Satan, that's the only way you my op.
So you saying Ross serving the devil?
No, I'm saying unless he's saying that, then he ain't my op at all. So it ain't no, Now, who I do have to shout out is a beautiful queen named Miss Erica Ford, right, out of New York. So activist for a long time. Yeah. And I be talking that talk about the hip hop industry. She been talking this since I was in diapers, you heard me? I told y'all I went to the White House, right? Just left the White House. She was part of the group that I went with. Man, when I got in front of this woman, she said, hold on, D, give me 5 seconds. That lady FaceTime Jim Jones right in front of my face. Jim, guess who I got here with me? And showed him me.
What was so how did that conversation go?
We need to know that. We need to know that.
How did that conversation go?
And after that, when you say serving the devil, we gonna need you to reiterate that, like, you know, because how can you say someone is serving the devil? Like, we need a little bit more,
for sure,
you know,
clarity on that.
Yeah. So, but that first though.
Yeah.
Jim Jones.
So Jim answers the FaceTime. Jim, you know, he was happy to see her, and then she showed him the phone, and it was me. And I just had a big smile on my face. You hear me? I was like, whoa, what up, my brother? You hear me? Because, like, genuinely, I'm just knowing, I'm like, man, I could feel energy, bro.
Yeah. Through the phone.
Me and Jim gonna be friends, bro.
Okay.
I promise you we're gonna be friends, bro. I promise you. And, you know, it's just I'm not rushing that stuff or nothing, but just so happened me and Jim are booked for the same event out here in Atlanta called Invest Fest.
Okay, yeah.
Me and Jim, our names right there on the flyer, like on the same row, like right next to each other. And when I seen that, I was like, wow, that might be the opportunity right there.
Okay.
So you gonna pull up?
Oh, I'm pulling up. I'm a pull-upper, you heard me? That's what I am. I'm a puller-upper, you heard me? I'm a pull-upper, yeah. So definitely. And
so y'all not going to turn Invest Fest into WWE Scrap Fest, are you?
Man, look at Jim Jones and look at me, man. Come on, man.
Nah, I don't think they're going to take it that, man.
Just make it show.
Sometimes I believe that you be needing like that face-to-face, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because,
to talk
bro,
to somebody.
The internet and you know, bro, you know, with the stuff with me and my bros, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't wait till we get that time to, like, I'm in your face, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's just gonna be number love, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not beefing, you know what I'm saying? I done got some people out there that I got real beef with that if I see them, like, it's smash, you know what I'm saying? I'm just straight up, I might be incriminating myself, but you know what I'm saying? Y'all done fucked up, y'all know who y'all is, you know what I'm saying? But my brothers now. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you need that face to face, bro, because the internet fucks shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I hope we get that. We got that FaceTime, and even that was a blessing, man. Like I was just like, God gonna get the glory at the end of the day. When hip hop could see that, like, dang, look how this ended. It ended well. That's gonna show people that people might not start out on the same page, but it ain't gotta turn into something violent or negative.
So I mean, I got a probe though, D.
But he didn't.
When he saw your face on that phone,
let's go. We need to see what's going on.
Exactly.
Because you didn't answer.
That means he saw that beautiful lady talking to him like, "Oh, how you doing, sweetheart?" Then she showed your face.
Yeah.
How did that energy go?
Did he boot up? Did he like? Man,
he ain't boot up. He was Josing. You heard me? He was cooling. It looked like he was in his whip driving.
Okay, so he just didn't have time.
Yeah, he just was. You're right. Like it didn't. Nah, I definitely think he was surprised. I don't think he was expecting I'm about to answer this FaceTime and Dee-1 gonna be on the other end of the phone. You heard me? But man, I'm not the boogeyman, bro.
Yeah.
I'm Dee-1, bro. Like I'm not the boogeyman. So the Rick Ross stuff, the anybody else, even the way the internet work, bro. Like, see, I done learned a lot, man.
Talk to me.
Yeah, I done learned a lot. Like, if you say somebody's name, no matter what the context is, they want to make it seem as if it's an issue that you have with them. So, for example, me making a comment like, bro, I just told this man a story off camera. Like, I was 11 years old and saw him and BG walk in Walmart in New Orleans East. And that's my first time seeing any of the hot boys in person, right? Because they all from uptown. I'm from the East, right?
Yeah.
So I held the door open for them because they was buying a dollhouse, like, for a little girl. And walking out, and in my mind, I was just like, wow, I felt like my life was complete. I met two of the hot boys, right? Yeah. And I just was like, what's up? And he probably said, what's up, brother? You know what I mean? It's something like that. And I just be feeling like the hip-hop industry put pressure on us to keep up this persona. And you could become a prisoner to your persona. You know what I mean? That's why I'm the opposite. You hear me?
Yeah.
If Birdman the #1 stunner, I'm the -1 million stunner. You heard me? Because I grew up like, I want to be the opposite. I don't want to be the dude that's like, I got 50 cars. I'm like, I got one car, and it's a Honda Accord. You heard me? I'm not the dude who like, man, I never wear fake jewelry. Man, I'm the dude who will always wear fake jewelry. I don't care. You heard me? Like, just to show people that, and what? What that mean? What that mean I can't get booked for an interview? What that mean y'all ain't gonna book me for this show? I'm about to go perform in front of 1,000 people tonight. You heard me? Like, it don't matter. And I just was that dude that wanted to show that other side. But I think that too often our brothers and sisters in hip hop, we create a persona, we start to make money off of that persona, and then we work with the life in us, with everything in us to protect that persona. I really wish that we could I did this in the city, bro. I did this in January. I had 100 rappers in the room together. I called it Rappers Only. We all sat down in the room. Gangster rappers, conscious rappers, female rappers, Christian rappers, Muslim rappers, man, everything you could think of, you heard me? And we all just talked about the mental side of what come along with being a rapper, the side of trying to make money off of it, the side of like the direction we go with our music. I wish I could do that with the Hot Boys, because everybody talking about this Hot Boy reunion, you know what I mean? And bro, I don't think that we need a Hot Boy reunion. I'm serious, bro. I'm serious. Chill out, bro. Chill out, bro. Chill out, bro. Chill out, dog. You ain't trying to go back to jail. Chill out, bro. You ain't trying to go back to jail.
What did he just say?
Chill out, bro. Chill out, bro. Chill out. Chill out, brother. Chill out. Turk, I love you too much to not be honest with you, bro.
Don't say that, man.
Bro.
Because this Hot Boy reunion is going to change.
Bro.
Look, this Hot Boy reunion, all jokes aside, is going to change people's mental. All the things that went on with me and my brothers. A lot of people was criticizing me saying, why are you still pushing? They don't fuck with you. They don't fuck with you. They don't fuck with you. It went from me not talking with Juvie to talking with Juvie. Me not talking with Fresh to talking with Fresh. Me not talking with Wayne to talking with Wayne. Me not talking with BG, gonna be talking to BG and gonna be talking to Birdman. Those are my family. You know what I'm saying? And when outside peoples don't understand that, bro, we are part of a bigger picture, and it's more spiritual than anything. You know what I'm saying? So when you say you don't need this, that's like saying we don't need God. In my eyesight, when I have a vision and I know what God then showed me, it's gonna be something bigger, to where people who are going through something, when they see we reconcile after sin, everything play out the way it playing out. Man, if the Hot Boys did it, if Cash Money Millionaires did it, I'm about to call my bro. Bam, bam, bam. And people getting on one accord, bro. It's bigger than us. That's why the devil is fighting so much against it. You know what I'm saying? And people don't understand, but I understand, I overstand, and that's why I keep on pushing. And, you know, right now, me and Juve and Fresh, man, we gonna be in Memphis Thursday, you know what I'm saying, on the Back That Ass Up tour. You know what I'm saying? After Fresh and Juve just did a media run being on the Back That Ass Up tour in New York, speaking about how they think everything is silly. Couple hours later, I get a phone call. We on the road. So that's spiritual. That's God. People don't understand what they don't understand in the spirit. But I keep on walking by faith, not by sight. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is, man. But you're entitled to say what you say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But don't say that again, D-1.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you why.
Don't say it again.
I'm gonna tell y'all
I'm
something.
gonna grab that book.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. Listen, it's called The Dangers of Nostalgia, right? Nostalgia can be very dangerous. Nostalgia makes us think back to the past, and we associate certain memories with, oh man, when I was making this music, or when I was listening to this music, this is what I was doing back then. It bring me back to good times and all that type of stuff. The dangers of nostalgia is sometimes it can have us fiending for something from the past that really wasn't healthy for us in the first place. So when it come to hip hop, we wanting to celebrate. How about we celebrate who y'all are today instead of celebrating who y'all was 25 years ago, when, like you said, you was on that powder. BG was going through the same thing.
Let me cut you all right there though. We're not celebrating what we was. You know what I'm saying? We just giving the people what they want. You know what I'm talking about? What we was, we could never be again. We giving the people what they want, something that they never had. You know what I'm saying? Experience of all of us being on that stage at one time. I don't think it's so much of people being in the past, and I think people who don't understand won't never understand. You know what I'm saying? And that's why people who don't know just fall back and watch how it go, and they'll be blessed by the situation. You feel me? So that's your persona. I mean, that's your observation of it, but it's not that. That's just like me saying, D-1, you don't like drill rap. You don't like this type of rap, but when it's beneficial for you, I'm about to do a song with you, and I'm just gonna be on my side, and Fredo Bang gonna be on his side, cause Fredo Bang talk that gangster talk, but you got a song with him. So how you explain that to people that saying you not supposed to even be on that record?
Because of what we talking about on that song. Now, if y'all was talking about doing a new album together and reflective of who y'all is today, and y'all have grown and matured, I think that could be revolutionary for hip hop. But to rap the lyrics, I know every song off of y'all albums, bro, word for word, bro. To be rapping them lyrics, putting that back out there into the universe 25 years later, I mean, like I said, if I'm keeping it 100, bro, that's something that's gonna feel good to a lot of people who grew up on that music. You're right, giving the people what they want.
I think you too caught up on words and not a person's character. You know what I'm saying? Like, a person is just like Denzel Washington. He plays bad cop in Training Day. It doesn't mean that he's a bad person in real life. When he goes home, he's Denzel Washington. I think people judge people to the point where, you know what I'm saying, I'm beyond sin. You feel me? Like, I don't think it's that. It's based on what are you really telling these people? What are you really giving these people? What messages you carrying on? Don't be like me. Don't be influenced, be inspired. And I think that's what it come down to, bro. Like, we just gotta stop thinking that we know what another person is doing, because I don't know what a D-1 doing. You feel me? Only you know your purpose, and you know your heart. Only you know your relationship with God. It's just like us. You know what I'm saying? We are great people.
So you saying we actors as rappers? You saying we actors?
I think we all are actors when we are rappers. We painting a picture of something that we done either seen, something that we done been through. But most of us are not doing the things that we talking about now, but it is reality. And it's the message after, I think, that comes that make the sense. You
Well,
feel
this
me?
would be my question to you, D. If you grew up in New Orleans and you know every song backwards and forwards, how did we still get a D1? If it was that crazy and
Exactly.
it was killing you, how did we get the D1? That's what I'm saying. See, I think it helped us to get a D1.
Yeah.
Beehive street credibility is what gives us a beehive in the podcast field, simply because I can identify with the people that I talk to.
Exactly.
If I never was from Southwest or the west side of Atlanta, I wouldn't be able to talk to the people that I talk to because of those experiences. Now, at the age of 40 years old now,
I know better.
to hear that again, it's gonna take me back to where I was at 20 years old, 15 years old, and it's gonna have a good time in this thing. But it's also gonna inspire other people to be able to still do what they do. I think going to a concert, hearing good music, and jamming is not hurting nobody.
And seeing the person have changed their life lets them know that, man, wait, you mean to tell me I could act this out, I could do this, but my lifestyle be wife, kids, going to church, praising God, doing this. I think people put too much stipulations on what righteous supposed to be, and that would make people don't even want to go right. You know
That's why
but
people.
when you have
yeah.
people like who was Saul before they came Paul, I can relate to you more than I can relate to somebody who just want to be Paul and never been Saul. You know what I'm saying? So it's different stroke for different folks. And like I say, when you know better, you do better, bro. You feel me?
For every Turk, for every BG, for every Juvie, for every Lil Wayne, there's a Soulja Slim, there's a G Money, there's people who same lyrics, but it didn't end up so well for them.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a Tupac, there's a Biggie. We can't ignore that these ain't actors, bro. Denzel Washington is not getting shot up for playing a role in Training Day as a gangster. You know what I mean? Nobody ain't catching RICO charges and on trial right now fighting for their life because they played a drug dealer in a movie.
So that's why you distinguish the difference. So that's why you have a hot boy Turk who have a wife and kids. I'm going to talk about this, but I'm also going to let them know, don't be influenced, be inspired to become great. So we all, as an artist or entertainer, have a responsibility because we have people looking up to us to let them know the difference. Now, when you don't do that and you want them to believe that you just this gangster, you just this, you just that, then you got to be held accountable for your karma. You know what I'm saying? So I agree to a certain extent with that.
What's the main phrase in hip hop is 3 words.
Talk to me.
Keep it real.
That's right.
That is keeping it real. You keeping it real when you telling the truth, not hating. So if I come on here and I be like, look, if I rap about this, I'm not living like this.
How many rappers saying that though, Turk?
But that's why I'm speaking for me. I can't speak for everybody else. So now people have choices. Okay, should I choose the way Turk doing it or should I choose the way D-1 doing it? They got an example. You know what I'm saying? And when you have examples out there, everybody not going to change at the same time. Everybody is not going to not take things personal. Everybody is not going to make assumptions. Some people might make assumptions. You're going to have different strokes for different folks, bro. And like, people have their own mind. And that's what it all come down to. Like, we can't tell people what to do, but we can be an example of what to do. Now, it's up to those people. But I'm not responsible for a whole flock of people if they choose to do wrong.
So I'm not a rapper at this stage of life. I realize I'm not a rapper. I'm a communicator, right? I communicate via rapping. I communicate via teaching.
That's right.
I communicate via speaking, via podcasting, right? With that being said, every form of communication that I use has the ability to reach someone, and they may hear the rapping version of me communicating, but they might not hear me on an interview or me doing a speaking engagement. So I feel like we do have to be accountable for what we saying in the music because it's simply just another form of communication. And some people are like, I know all the lyrics to your music, but I ain't never heard none of your interviews, and that's not their fault. You know what I'm saying? Like they receive, that's like a pastor being like, well, you heard my sermons, but you ain't never heard me singing. I sing as well. And they're like, I like you for your sermons. So if you're talking about something different in your sermons than what you're talking about in your singing, I might not even know that side of you. And I think that when it comes to rap, more fans are drawn to the rapping side of who we are.
You shouldn't be doing a song with Fredo Bang if that's the case. Because
You tripping.
Listen what I'm saying. When you saying it like that, you need to be walking a straight and narrow path with your friends. Don't mix and blend with Fredo Bang. You need to be with the Dee-1s of the world.
But how do you reach the Fredo Bangs at that point?
My point exactly. So sometimes, like I say, Saul became Paul, but a lot of people thought he was still Saul, but he wasn't. But they could relate to him being Saul because they still had people still wanting to be Saul. But when they see, damn, if he could do it, I could do it. Everybody can relate to a Dee-1 who ain't never been out there just like a Saul. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the thing. It's different stroke for different folks, but you're going to need people to make the world go round. And maybe you have your audience. B High got his audience. I call you B1. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling a nigga B1. Talking to this nigga so much. You know what I'm saying? T1. You know what I'm saying? Then they converting us in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But this is my opinion. We all entitled to it.
I
You know what I'm
love it.
saying?
I love the dialogue.
You know, like I'm just saying, like everybody, bro.
Yeah.
At first I didn't understand it, you know what I'm saying? But then I started understanding like everybody don't grow at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, they have people right now be mad at me because I don't do certain things that I used to do. Mm-hmm. That mean I have grown. Because I'm like, damn. Y'all just don't know. I used to be like that, but to get mad, it make me be like, damn, man, I really have grown. It don't make me mad or nothing. I understand. You feel me? I understand. So the question is, do you understand a person who don't understand you?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
I understand what prevents some people from understanding me, and it's their desire to get that bag. Straight up. If people was financially free, and this is why in 4 hours I'm about to perform at it's a financial literacy conference for black people, for African American, what is called a College of African American Financial Planners. That's the name of it, right? If people were financially free, a lot of stuff that we be trying to justify and we be trying to like dress it up and talk about it to where it's like it makes sense, we wouldn't even waste our time doing that because we'd be like, because all it really boiled down to, I heard it a few months ago when I went through the stuff with some of the other rappers that we named earlier. The main thing that kept coming up was, this how I feed my family. Don't tell me how to get my bag, da-da-da-da. So my thing is like financial freedom really produces a level of fearlessness about changing totally. You know what I mean? Because it just, no matter how we dress it up, it just don't make sense that we'll say, and I'm not talking about Turk when I say this, but that anybody will say, man, I done changed my ways. I ain't on dope no more. I'm married. I got kids. I'm doing positive stuff in the community.
Nigga, you talking about me, nigga.
But
You're talking about me, nigga.
But I make murder music.
You're talking about me, nigga. Hey, this nigga slick. This nigga slick, y'all.
Man,
but you know,
man?
I understand.
All right,
you
right.
know, I understand.
So I just know that. So that make me like, bro, if I had $1 billion, the first thing I would do is get rid of all the strip clubs, right? I would pay all the strippers to not have to strip no more. Whatever they would make in a year, I would pay them that and tell them, come on. Because I know most of y'all don't want to be having a strip. Ain't nothing positive about strip club culture. And I know I'm in Atlanta when I say that. So I feel people throwing tomatoes at me already. And I'm like, hey, man, if I had $1 billion, I would pay all the strippers in this country to not have to strip no more. Give them a year doing something else.
Everybody didn't have Pawpaw. You know what I'm saying? You have grown up with Pawpaw. You know, it starts at home. You know what I'm saying? I think like people have to like go through what they go through, bro, to get to where they need to get to. And it takes time, bro. And I think the approach that you have sometimes rub people the wrong way. Well, they looking for you to make a mistake so they can say, well, see, he's a hypocrite. But versus a person like
Us,
me.
we gonna say, see,
you know
he's
what I'm
a
saying?
human.
A person that know better.
Yeah.
A person that know better.
Yeah.
But then they might look at a person like me and see me acting up just like them. Turkey.
Right.
Because they could relate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
how do you how do you like make people who don't understand you when you talking to them like y'all need to change? And I'm talking about right now because I'm changed. Like some people don't understand that, bro. I think God like variety of people and he's no judge of a person.
Facts.
Like even when the lady sinned, they say he who has no sin cast the first stone, and everybody walked off because everybody has sin. You feel me? So it takes time for people to change their mindset. In order to change your world, you have to change your mind with repetition of new information. So the information that you have that's new, that can help a person be the person that they want, continue walking in your path, doing what you doing. B do what he do, Turk do what he do, and at the end of the day, God's will be done, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's where people fall off and we start looking at the differences and we always have a misunderstanding because we don't see the similarities of we all experiencing life and finding out who we are while we experiencing it, you know what I'm saying?
I believe in the phrase, I am my brother's keeper. And because of that, I don't want to just say, "Hey man, I'm gonna do what I do. You do what you do, and I love you." But I ain't worrying about what you got going on. And if you end up in the graveyard, in the jail cell, or at the White House, or as a billionaire, good luck. That was just your path. It's like God gave us eyes and gave us vision so that we could focus on what we got going on, but we could also look up and see, oh, my brother need help with that. Oh, this old lady crossing the street needs somebody to help her. Oh, my brother right here got a good heart. Once again. But the industry we in has created a reward system to where they reward us and they brainwash us for showcasing the most negative side of who we are instead of like showcasing the positive side of who we are. So all I'm doing is, that's why I'm always going to interact with all the names that y'all naming and like, well, why would you do a song with this one? Why would you do this with this one? Because that's my duty, is to do that stuff. Not because I need the money or the clout or nothing like that, but to show people that it's not me sitting on a high perch and saying, you're a bad person. You're a bad person. You need to change this. It's like I'm in the mix with y'all.
But you can't.
I'm at the White House with people.
You can't criticize and condemn a person that's not where you at. You continue doing what you doing, and if it rub off, it rub off. When you start to point the finger, look, 3 pointing back at you. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, a person might see you as, oh, that nigga only doing it for money. What's the difference from what he doing and what I'm doing? He chasing the money too. Would he do it for free? Would he do what he doing for free? Or is he trying to feed his family? Would he do it for free? Because I feel like knowledge and God is supposed to be free. Why charge? Why make money? Some people think like that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you don't feel like that. I need to get this money. And they feel like they need to get that money. So we both got a common ground and similarities, but how we get our money is different. You know what I'm saying? People just got to grow into where
it's that money. That word of God that I know you know very well, bro. It says you can't serve God and money. You just can't. Like, you can't have 2 masters. With that being said, when we justifying chasing the money in a way that's like, God, look, I'm gonna get to you later because I gotta get this bag right now. We are living out that scripture in reality, bro. That, and what you said about like, won't you just do what you do, D? That's like if somebody told the church, won't y'all just stay inside that building? Don't come out in the community and try to interact with the citizens. Yeah. Y'all just do what y'all do on Sundays in that building. The church ain't the building. Mm-hmm. The church is the hearts of the people that's going out into the community and into the world to spread the love that is present in that building on Sundays.
But don't criticize me making my money so you can make your money in the church.
Okay, so if you think that me saying, well, first of all, hold on, because that's
because I done seen, me personally, seen you jump out your car, get on Instagram, and put the collector's plate out, and people sending cash apps and things like that. What's the difference from people sending you cash apps and people sending Beehive cash apps? It's the same thing. There's money involved. Would you do it for free? Would you give people God for free for a whole year? Or would you want to get paid?
Yeah, that bro, you're asking a great question. So I think that one of our problems in our community is we act like if a person wants to get paid off of positivity, off of being righteous or for doing God's work, making God proud in whatever they do. A person could be a plumber, but if he's like, I'm a God-fearing plumber, do he deserve to get paid when he come unclog your toilet? Of course he do. Why not? He's doing a job. He's providing a service at a high level. He deserves to get paid. But we'll sometimes shame people out of like, man, if you was really doing this for the right reasons, you wouldn't be trying to get paid. Now, some people take getting paid too far. And that's when it's like, that's the ugly side of the wanting to get paid part. That's why I live a modest lifestyle, because anybody who's like, oh, Dee-1 bought his bag, but his bag sold at what? So he could go buy what? Like, I'm not sitting here in love with anything in this world. And the money that I'm able to make from doing what I do at a high level, that's so that, matter of fact, Master P be saying that. What he say? The more we make, the more we could give. You know what I'm saying? When you got a giving heart, it's like, shoot, that need to be the people with the bag.
So it's a lot of people that make money to give it away.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? So it ain't a person going out here being holier than thou that's making money and have to give it away, because there's a lot of people who making money and give it away. So that's an act of God when you doing things like that. God is love. So you know what I'm saying? Bro, it's like it has so many different characteristics in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I think no person can judge no person, because at the end of the day, it all gonna come back to 3 fingers pointed back at you, because we are not perfect. We all striving for that. And it's a matter of time where tomorrow Turk might be where Dee-1 not at. And then, you know what I'm saying, I could be saying, Dee-1, you ain't where I'm at now. You feel me? So I just think everybody got their own levels of, spirituality, or own levels of, God in them. You know what I'm saying? But it shouldn't be to a point like, you wrong, I'm right. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
that's where the problem comes in.
My thing is, first of all, this conversation has just exploded. I'm like the emoji with the exploding brain over here. I done had so many things go through my mind that I ain't even been able to get out. Where do we draw the line? Because if you're on the other side, that's a polar opposite of the gangster side. But that side could be just as violent as the gangster side. Reason being is that if I'm trying to reach this goal and this bar that you set, it could cause me to be suicidal because I'm not perfect. I'm human. I'm trying as hard as I can, Dee-1, but I can't meet you where you at because I'm human. Even though you should be striving for perfection and trying to do the best that you can, but that don't exist other than Jesus Christ out here in these streets. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So how do you live trying to make it do what it's supposed to do, D? Being on that side, being polar opposite of everybody.
Dog, this polar opposite of everybody stuff, y'all making it seem like I'm a saint. You heard me? Like, bro, I am a human being.
Let the people know that, because that's how you come out. You come out as, I'm better than all y'all. Y'all
no,
need to get y'all
you think I come
together.
out like that? Like I'm better than all y'all?
No, I don't think
At
it's
times,
a better. No,
at times.
No,
I'm
not
for
gonna
you,
say better.
but for the people. I'm speaking for the people, and the people sometimes, and that's why they come on the offensive. Like, nigga, who you think you is? You feel me? And I'm not speaking for me, because I'm more mature than that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm speaking for the people. How the people who are not knowledgeable to what they understand, it could come off as, I'm gonna listen to Turk before I listen to this nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You come off to me as convicted, okay?
That's it.
You see what I'm saying? You believe what you believe and you stand on what you stand on. However, in your conviction, with folks not being able to meet you there, and you saying that, hey man, it's either hot or it's cold.
Exactly.
That's when it starts to get gray. You see what I'm saying? Because can't nobody keep up with your personal conviction. See, everybody's not convicted as you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Dr. King, when he said nonviolence, I was talking to my granddaddy before he passed back in the day, and I said, Big Daddy, because he's a preacher as well, he was a preacher, and he preached with Dr. King them back in the day. I said, hey, Big Daddy, what was it like when Dr. King was doing his thing in Atlanta? He was like, nobody liked him. You're like, hey man, you starting trouble, man. You making it hard for us out here.
Exactly.
You taking us out here to get our butts whooped out here in these streets, because he was convicted about being non-violent and trying to move the culture forward. Some people are Malcolm. Some people are Martin.
Facts.
But we needed both of them to get to where we at today.
Facts.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So how do we find a way to embrace each other, to have a commonality or some kind of common ground that makes sense?
I think-
Because for me, I've been convicted too, D1. I don't play, okay? I don't play.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bro,
You see what I'm saying? However, me with my background, I understand.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
the
I'm
thing.
not, I can't wag my finger
Yeah, that's the
because, like you
understand.
say, it's them 3 points.
Yeah,
I done been there, acting a fool, doing all this.
Now, D,
now
now people might say you don't understand because you haven't been there because you had Pop.
man, I told.
I don't believe he hasn't been there.
Thank you, bro. Because I
But
told. Look,
you
I had
come
to tell.
out. He come out. He
Man.
come out.
Because he's convicted.
He come
So when
out
you
as-
convicted, you
gotta
find yourself
show
on the
them-
other
you
end of
have
the
to, you
spectrum.
have to show the people you've been there though.
I just told.
You
look,
have to show them you've been there, not just tell them. You
Look,
gotta
bro,
show them.
I told my man Loon in Nashville this. I told Mina and Gas in New Orleans this. We not finna play this. D1, how much of the streets you came from or what you done been through in your life, because you seem like a dude that you done seen a little bit, but you ain't seen what I seen, so therefore you not qualified to speak on this. Man, my best friend is dead, man.
But 10 people telling you the same thing. Sometimes you have to sit back and be like,
But it's
why?
all people that's trying to defend the lifestyle. I promise you, it's always.
It's not defending the lifestyle because I'm out of the lifestyle. I'm telling you, it ain't people.
You not out the lifestyle. You finna go on the road and perform all these songs glorifying murder, bro.
No, we ain't. We gonna glorify booty. You know what I'm saying? That's what we glorify. That's a big difference.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah,
all right, that's
it's
better.
booty. We
That's
ain't
better.
glorify-
It's the
Yeah,
back there
it's
ass
different.
up
That's
to
better.
us.
It's different.
All right.
It's different because we ain't cause my big bro Juve ain't on no negativity. My big bro Fresh ain't on no negativity. We pushing positivity. So the thing is this.
No, I'm talking about the Hot Boy tour. That you advocating for?
The
number one song is Hot Girl, even though that's still
we talking
Alright.
about. But even when the Hot Boys come together, it's love because the world scene we wasn't together. So when we come together, we pushing love, the message.
What's the message?
Don't look love.
The message is love.
The message is love. How these brothers came together after they was in confusion and fighting.
I'm about whatever you about, whatever you
How
want. We
these
could do
brothers
it.
can't-
Triggers
no,
I yank.
no,
And
no,
your stage
no,
is all
no,
right
no.
through about
See,
whatever you about.
show me your-
All
but
day
your
and
God,
all
damn,
night.
they-
Hold on. See, and
See, let's shut me.
that's the problem. Because instead of you looking at the message is love. These brothers in the world have seen it. The world seen they wasn't getting along. But look at them brothers, they together.
I agree with that part.
That's the love.
So why not just do a podcast
No,
together?
you can't tell us what to do.
I'm
no,
asking.
No,
I'm
no,
asking.
No. Why don't you take that suit off?
Why not? I'll take it off right now. What you mean?
Don't take it all right now. I'm just saying. But I'm saying, everybody walk in love different. What I'm
Gotcha.
saying, and the Hot Boys will have a bigger impact showing the love than talking about it.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
And I think the world have seen the hate, the misunderstanding, to when they see the love, it's gonna change the world, D1.
It's
More
gonna
than
change
you
the
telling
world.
them you need to walk in love. They see the love.
I'm sorry, D. Let me jump in here before you respond. When it comes to the music for me, and I think Tupac said it back in the day, he was like, we screaming and yelling about what's going on in our community. You screaming and yelling about how bad it is in the community for somebody to come and change it. And what's happening is the back end where you're supposed to hear somebody saying, Brenda's got a baby. Okay, so we need to go in here and protect the young girls in the neighborhood. That part is not happening.
Exactly.
He's telling you what's going on, but nobody's going in there to actually do the real deal work. In walks Charleston White.
Yeah.
Somebody that was doing the real deal work. He caught so much hell trying to do the real deal work that he said, you know what? I'm about to go get this money.
He say fuck the community. That's what he said out his mouth. And when Charleston White said that, I ain't gonna lie, I understood. See, some people don't understand why he say that.
Oh yeah.
I understand why he say that, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just certain people, D1, you probably wouldn't understand why Charleston White, and I'm not judging you, brother. I'm just saying, when Charleston White say fuck the community, I'm about to get this money, would you understand him why he's saying that after for a while he was like advocating for the community?
It's just like anybody who get frustrated when they're doing something for a long time and they feel like they're not seeing the rewards from all the work they're putting in, or they feel like they're getting backstabbed by the same people that they was out there putting their life on the line for. I totally get that. I just realized that
So do that make him a bad person?
Nah, it make him a disgruntled community activist. The difference between a community activist and a man of God is Jesus never had to do the devil's work to accomplish his God-given mission.
We are not Jesus, though.
But who we supposed to be trying to be
We
like?
strive for perfection, so that means someday we're going to make a mistake.
Yeah, of
but
course.
you come off as, we ain't going to make them mistakes some days. So when we make the mistakes some days, you got to sometimes give a person a time to dust themselves off and get back up. You know what I'm saying? They got another chance to get it right.
So
that's all.
yeah.
We all have a chance
My
to get it
question is
right.
this to D1 though. How difficult is it for you being on that end of the spectrum, talking what you talking? Because first of all, we support you. We understand where the hell you come from.
He know his number.
for sure.
We understand where you come from.
Right.
But I also understand that it's difficult being over there. Okay?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
talk to me about the difficulties of being over there, and then how do you remain steadfast over there?
Yeah. The most difficult part is being misunderstood and having people think that I ain't been through nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's when it's like, bro, I don't like every interview having to relive my best friend getting murdered right there where we grew up. I don't like having to relive having a gun right here on my temple, you heard me? I don't like having to relive my student getting murdered by my other student. But every interview is like, well, you talking about murder music, D1. What you know about losing people? Or what you know about the streets? Or da-da-da-da. Like, so being misunderstood, that's difficult sometimes when I know that my heart is pure and when I know that, like, this is what my whole adult life been dedicated to, bro.
Yeah.
I was a teacher, a middle school teacher for 2 years, right? And since then, I've been a full-time rapper, now a rapper, college professor, public speaker, like all this stuff. I just come back from Africa. I was a United States hip-hop cultural ambassador. So when they was in the Superdome, you heard me, for Essence Fest, doing the Cash Money reunion or whatever, Birdman and Friends, I was in Africa, you feel me? Like pouring into them and having these type of talks with them. Because they know all the lyrics to the same stuff that we listening to over here. And I'm seeing how global hip-hop really is.
But you have to understand, D1, people only can relate to what they relate to. You got to stop forgetting where you come from and remind people, look, I understand, but this where I'm at. When you just strictly like, this where I'm at, they don't know if you've been there. So you have to remind people, bro, so they can get on your level and you can get their attention.
Yeah.
It's just your approach of how you do it or make people be like, damn, this nigga think he better than us.
You want to know
That's
the truth?
all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying become like us, but Paul had to become like something to win them over. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like you forget that you were soft.
Yeah.
To people that don't know no better. But then the people that know better can be like, okay, because we don't take it offense. We ain't making no assumptions and we ain't taking it personal. We watching what we say out our mouth and we trying our best to do all three.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. But everybody not having those full agreements that they live by. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying.
In hip hop, it's like, who is helping to set the bar to where the goal is to keep growing instead of to keep letting this energy marinate this negative and detrimental in our communities and in our neighborhoods and in our industry. It seems like people just want like keep stirring that energy like a pot of gumbo instead of saying, yo, let's dream, let's use our imagination to set the bar higher. What can it look like? We ain't canceling nobody. This ain't about canceling this person don't deserve to be a rapper. This person don't deserve to be this. These fans don't deserve this. We all deserve love. We all deserve evolution, elevation. We all deserve that. But we also got to be willing to say, cool, let's set some tangible goals about where we want to draw the line at. And drawing a line in hip hop really get people nervous because it's like, well, if that line get drawn right there, technically I'm on the wrong side of the line. I guess that make me one of the bad guys. And it's like, you're not one of the bad guys, but it's just that you can do better. Just like in different ways in my life, I can definitely do better. And the line, and it ain't about trying to publicly embarrass nobody either, man. Like at all. I think most people agree with what I'm saying. That's the other thing, bro. Most people agree with what I'm saying. But a lot of attention get put on rappers. Now the attention need to get put on fans. Because I could say it till I'm blue in the face. But if the fans showed that like, nah, we want y'all to grow. Nah, we ain't trying to hear that no more.
We call it fantasy. That's the word that Turk came up with.
Committing
The fans are calling.
send me
The
out.
fans are causing people to die out here in hip
There you
hop
go.
too.
There you go.
So it used to be the rappers that was doing
There you
it,
go. There
but
you
the
go.
fans are saying, "Go and say something to him. Go and kill something. You gonna let them talk to you like that? Oh, you about to die tonight."
There you
but
go.
I need to ask you this though, D. When you touched down in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
what was that experience like, man?
Yeah, it was world changing.
Yeah.
Because I went over there and they were like, D1, we are just honored that a brother like you is here in Zimbabwe with us and taking time out like to let us know that we matter. You know what I mean?
My God.
Because they don't even feel like they matter over there, bro. They got real superstars over there in Zimbabwe. And I had the pleasure of working with these artists and
Yeah.
I'm seeing them and I'm seeing like y'all got the talent, but now when you got the talent, you also got to have the right mindset.
Yeah.
Because this industry will take talent, and if you ain't got the right mindset, they gonna exploit that talent for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we see them do it all the time. So Africa, bro, it grounded me. It reminded me of why I'm truly doing this. You
Yeah.
feel me? I had people get mad at me for going to Africa. They say, "Oh, he working with the government. He a Fed. He work with the CIA. He a sellout." That literally, bro. So people gonna criticize.
You damned if
no
you
man.
do, you damned if you don't.
Come on, man. So I'm at least gonna make sure that I don't even try to impress the 8 billion people in this world, and I just focus on, man, what's gonna be pleasing to God. And a lot of things that's gonna be pleasing to God ain't gonna make sense to men.
Yeah.
And it ain't gonna make sense to the industry. Or they gonna say, well, you're doing too much of this, or you're doing not enough of that. Man, it's cool.
Why just the industry though? In the world is bigger than the industry.
Because I'm in the industry. So because of that, like, if I was a plumber, then every day I would have an intimately close relationship with what's right, what's wrong, what's the good, the bad, and the ugly about the plumbing game. Because I do that every day.
But
since I
D1,
rap every day.
But people say, cause you is a rapper, and I done seen people leave comments. Are you jealous of the other rappers?
That's a good question, bro.
Because they making the money.
Yeah,
for
bro.
what- for
Yeah,
what they
bro. That's what it
doing.
is, bro. That's what it's been
And-
all these years, bro. I'm jealous, man.
Keep it real,
I'm
like,
jealous
you know?
of all these rappers, man. I want to be able to rap about murder. I want to be able to rap about
I'm not
like
saying
selling
that, like,
dope. I'm
This
so
is what
jealous,
I'm saying.
bro.
Like it's like
No, bro.
you rap, I rap, Beehive rap. This is we all rap.
Yeah.
Beehive might be making the most money for what he doing. You feel like I need to be making more money than him because this is
Gotcha.
what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Why you feel like you supposed to be making more money when you just be who you is? You know what I'm saying? And if you doing it for God, the money shouldn't matter. Your message getting across.
Right. So comparison is the thief of joy. So that's why I don't compare myself to nobody. I can't get mad at where that man's level of success is because I'm not looking at that as a reflection on me. That don't make me feel worse about myself. Like I'm literally in a lane of my own. Don't try to compare me. They got shows. They had a show that I saw, a radio show. Matter of fact, I'm about to do their podcast in a little bit just to go on there and tell them, hey, don't do that with me no more. You heard me? They had Dee-1 versus Currency. And they played song for song, right? And they had people on the internet voting and rating, and then 8 people sitting at a round table. Which one is better? Man, it's that type of stuff that start having dudes have issues with each other. You heard me? Because they sitting there like, man, technically, the internet said your songs was hotter than mine, so now I feel away. Man, me and Currency grew up across the street from each other. Ain't no comparison. It's only congratulations. You know what I'm saying? It's only, man, your mama, my grandma, papa, your daddy, your sister, like, ain't they proud of us, bro? Look what we done did with ourselves. That's the world that try to compare people, bro. I don't do that. And I don't do it, and I don't think people understand how free you are when you stop comparing yourself to people. I don't care about being on nobody's list. So when I make somebody's list and I get Rapper of the Year or my album Loaded that's about to drop in a week,
That's right.
man, it might debut at #1 in the world, bro, on the iTunes charts. Right now in the pre-orders in the whole world, it's LL Cool J #1 and it's D-1 #2 in the whole world, bro.
Speaking of LL though, I mean, did you have choice words for L?
You saw that? I don't know if you saw that interview.
Yeah.
And so LL did an interview and they asked him about me and about my comments about hip hop and all that. Man, I'm trying to recruit LL Cool J, man. LL, man, I need you to come to this side, bro. Cause I seen what you said in the interview. I seen what you said, brother. I could tell you got a good heart, dog. And I know you agree with me.
Hold on, good heart.
No, I know you do.
But I got a good heart.
You got
He
a good heart too. Okay, better word. LL, I know you agree with me in terms of my thoughts on hip hop because in the interview he was like, well, I mean, he's not wrong, but he's not right. Ain't no such thing as he ain't wrong, but he ain't right. That's just like he really ain't wrong. But if I say all the way that he is right, then that seems like I'm turning my back on some of the people in this industry
But that's your
that I got friends
though.
with.
He probably agree to disagree on some of the
Well,
things
I
you
listened
say.
to him, and he said, he was like, well, if that brother feel that way about people, he need to make the music that he would like to hear. That's why I'm like, oh, LL, you never pressed play on a D1 song before.
But
Because
that's
if
the
you
thing.
did,
And
you'll know I'm doing that already.
But that's the thing, D1. It seems like you want to convert all of the people to a D1 fan. And since they are a Rick Ross fan, Jim Jones fan, you feel like they at the wrong fan base. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. So it come off as you hater.
Like I'm hating.
What a love at D1.
What I love it. You could love somebody and you could hate how they using their talent.
Nah, you hate they fans because they not your fans.
Oh no, I don't, bro. Here's the thing, bro. How do I say this, bro? How like this? I always got like sharp brain, sharp answers for interviews. When it come to this part, all I'm gonna say is this: I'm popular, and I'm financially free. We gonna leave it at that.
But you don't have them fans that they have.
Bro,
And I think you want those people.
Bro.
And, you know.
Bro, if I got 655,000 Instagram followers. Lord have mercy. That is more people than I know what to do with already. Cause that
now
means
we know them Instagram followers are ghosts. Some of them.
or maybe 2,000 of them is
because you ain't about to
bots.
have 650,000 people at your concert.
Correct.
So what I'm saying is, when you see a lot of people commenting on people who's supposed to be worldly more than yours, it makes you feel some type of way, bro. And
It
I can
really
tell
don't, bro.
the
It
way how
really
you
don't, bro.
respond and react towards a Rick Ross and a Jim Jones is the reason how they gave you the. See, some people be like, man, that D1, man, I ain't about to like. I'd be like, man, that's my bro. I ain't about D1. Cause man, you could talk all day and disagree to agree, agree to disagree. But some people will be like, man, D1, man, got me fucked up. I'm about to slam his ass. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody not there. And I feel like sometimes you be wanting they fan base, bro, to come over to you.
Bro.
Are you trying to convert hip hop to D1?
To D1 fans, nah, bro, nah. Like this ain't about me at this point. I am trying to convert them over to saying like, yo, I want to make God proud in everything I do and honor God first. So that means, if that means making different type of music or listening to different type of music because of what that puts into my spirit, then of course that's what I want to do. But this does not revolve around me, bro, like at all. And that might be hard for a person to understand because we so used to everybody just, they trying to get them at the end of the day. I'm trying to get me, bro. I got me, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, and see, this why we not used to it, Turk, is because we used to seeing people that are billionaires or that are 100 millionaires that still chasing the bag, right? Like they still infatuated with the bag. And it's like, they not free. They still slaves. My thing is like, bro, I'm never gonna say that I don't want to have more fans or get more money or whatever, but it does get to a point to where it's like, bro, I'm literally not chasing that stuff if the chase requires me to slap my God in the face. I'm not, bro, and that's a hard concept for people.
How can you say a person is slapping? I know I ain't slapping God in the face. I believe in God.
That's harsh language when I say that.
You know
but I say this.
So and that's where I feel like you wrong at because you know what I'm saying, man. I believe in God wholeheartedly, bro.
Right.
You know, God is the author and the finisher of everything, bro.
Right.
That I do, man, my
So
wife do.
So tell me this.
You know
Tell me this.
And it don't matter if I cuss you out or I don't cuss you out.
Right.
I still get a conviction.
Right. So
it's people that get convictions that you might not know about that get on their knees and repent, bro. I'm striving for perfection.
Mm-hmm.
You never know the type of relationship people got with God, bro. And I just think that we all should do our part, water, and let God grow. That's our responsibility.
Yeah.
Not to say you need to make it grow while I water. That ain't your responsibility. You feel me?
So what should I do? In your opinion?
Continue walking in love and let things be the way it's gonna be because you doing your part. Continue showing your love, which is God. So long as people seeing the God in you and you not seeming like you better than other people, then people won't hate you.
Yeah, bro.
You know
So
what I'm
look,
saying?
so if that dog, nobody don't hate me, bro.
Yes, they do. Some of them do.
They don't hate me, bro.
Shit, Jim Jones wanted to slam you.
Jim Jones, nah, bro. Me and Jim Jones gonna be best friends. Watch.
That's your fate. But at
Watch.
the end of the day, when it all came across social media, Jim Jones wanted to do you like he did the dude on the escalator, man.
In the
And you
airport.
saw what he did in the airport. So
Hey.
if Jim Jones would to see you right now, you never know how it'll be. And you know, the devil be busy, you feel me? But at the end of the day, you my brother, you know what I'm saying? We always had these conversations, even on the phone.
Right.
But I just think you're a good person. Just keep on being the good person that you are, and let other people, if they got to catch up, let them catch up. Just do what God put on your heart to do, and let everybody else be them. That's the conclusion I
I
came
feel D1 stance is needed. I
Yeah,
feel
it
we
is.
need
Yeah,
your stance
yeah.
in hip hop. It's needed because at the end of the day, somebody got to say it.
to. Exactly.
But it ain't gonna be easy. You see what I'm saying? When you stand up on that corner, you just got to add the finesse. You got to add the finesse. You're killing the ants with the sledgehammer, and that's where it's getting, misrepresented in folks' minds. You just got to figure out a way to get people to understand. But then also, too, the real change, man, it goes back to the community. You see what I'm saying? Like I was saying earlier about the whole Tupac thing. How do we actually get the real? Because I'm here to let you know, if ain't nobody dying in the neighborhoods, ain't nobody rapping about that.
That's facts.
You see what I'm saying? If we all getting money, if everybody's employed in the neighborhood, ain't nobody rapping about that. If mama and daddy is raising the kids together, ain't nobody rapping like that. You see what I'm saying? So what do we do to really get back into the community to pull folks together? Because that's really ground zero to me. If we can change the community, the music will be an offshoot of what you're seeing in the community. However, I also put the blame on the labels. Because from what I understand and what I see, that death sells. And see, now they have monetized the death of young black men. So now when you're coming up in the culture of death and poverty in the ghetto, and you see somebody that's killing somebody go and make $1 million right quick, rapping about killing somebody, and they are having the time of their life, being ghetto and in the hood, you're gonna be like, okay, the same way we glorified rappers and basketball players when we was growing up, if that's what you're saying, okay, that's how you do it. You got to go kill somebody, and then you do this, and then you're going to make the money.
Thank you.
But the money is not coming from the people. It's coming from folks that don't look like the folks in the culture.
You're right. So we got.
So how do we check that?
Because we got the 3 C's inside of hip hop. I teach
Talk to
this
me.
in my college class.
I'm
You
here
got
for it.
creators,
Yep.
consumers, and commissioners.
Ooh,
Right?
I'm with you.
There's no industry without creators and consumers. If labels existed by themselves, there would be no industry. We have the most power as the creators and the consumers to where we can make the commissioners have to adapt to what trends we set. So that's why I speak to artists and I speak to fans, because it's like, listen, if we could get on the same page about what's
we
something
don't
different.
have that
But
power,
hold
because
on.
if that was the case,
Not
you would be
when-
making millions of dollars.
But
They would
hold
say,
on, hold on, B.
we like what you creating. Here go millions of dollars to continue to
But
create
not
that, to make the
when-
situation better for everybody else.
Well-
the commissioners don't give a damn about the people that's dying. So they're like, okay, we're going to give you this money to fill these jail cells that the commissioners are also invested in at the same time.
So the consumers got to be on the same page as the creators.
So you can't criticize them if you want them to be on the same page. You can't make them feel less than you if you want them to be on the same page. You got to come to a common ground to let them know that, look, I'm on your side. I understand you, but put that but in there. Don't just act like you don't understand them. You know what I'm saying? Because we'll never get an overstanding. And that's where it comes. That's where the problem come in. That we won't see the enemy, the real enemy.
So what one person calls criticizing, another person calls, man, you just articulating your stance on things. Like, I don't think people feel like I'm criticizing fans and criticizing rappers as much as it's like, D, you speaking some uncomfortable truths. But sometimes the truth is uncomfortable.
D, that's why I'm saying, that's why we have to feed off each other. If a person telling you, try this way, have you tried it? Or you just gonna go off of what you think. Sometimes I have to go off of, I'm gonna try this. I can't just go off of what I think. Because sometimes what I think can be my ego. You know what I'm saying? Let me try this way. You know what? Damn, BU was right, man. That shit worked. And sometimes we have to do that. You know what I'm saying? No matter what we think, sometimes we got to try what somebody else see that we don't see, bro. That's all I'm saying. And that's not compromising your faith. That's not compromising your belief. You know what I'm saying? That's trying to get an overstanding with people who you love. You feel me? And I think if you love somebody, you're going to improvise sometime, dog.
Only in our community do we go so hard to defend negativity. Only in our community. That's it. Like I'm talking about, we dress it up, we make it sound cool, we put a bow on it, just to defend some negativity at the end of the day. We call it acting, we call it freedom of expression, we call it, it's nostalgia, we call it I'm feeding my family, I'm just getting paid. Only in our community,
It's
bro.
not defending negativity, bro. It's saying it in a way where a person that is negative could understand you and don't feel judged. That's what I'm saying. You missing the whole point. I know this negative, but the person that's doing it negative don't know. So how do you communicate that, D1?
And
So
see-
in all the way you can communicate that if you've been where they been. You say you've been where they been. So how would you feel if a person that's coming from how you coming
Yeah.
at the
I got a
time when
good
you was
answer.
feeling that way?
And see, let me throw my analogy in here. It's 70 degrees in the room, but that 70 degrees might not feel the same to me as it feels to
Exactly.
you, as it feels to you. You
Yeah.
might say, it's cold as hell in here.
Yeah.
Cut up the heat. I might say, man, it's hot as hell in
Exactly.
here. You might say, hey, man, it feels just right to me. But the truth is 70 degrees. But it feels different to everybody
There
in
you
the
go.
room.
So the person that's communicating that truth, their only obligation is to communicate, hey y'all, it's 70 degrees in here. I'm just telling y'all that. If y'all get offended by that,
No, you're
that's
wrong.
on you, brother. You heard me? It's 70 degrees in
and
here.
that's where you wrong at. Because I could communicate this in love.
Yeah, it
and
could be
not
in love.
D1.
It could be in
No.
How is it not love when it's just
Because you just say I.
I say it's
No, you say
70
I
degrees.
don't care. I don't care. And that's where you wrong because you put D1 in there. You know what I'm saying? How would you feel if you was me? Sometimes you gotta empathize with other people, bro, and that's what a narcissist
It's the
do.
lack of empathy
You don't have no
in your
empathy.
conviction.
That's
All right.
That's
it. You
what
gotta
it
have
is.
empathy.
Watch
bro.
this.
That's the
Wa-
only
you
thing.
gotta
Watch
Watch
this,
this,
empathy,
B.
bro.
So the empathy piece, all right. I got empathy with the youth.
What about the elder?
What about the elder? Bro, it's called willful ignorance at a certain point, Turk.
See, you're wrong.
It's
B.
called willful ignorance,
because
brother.
an elder, just because they're elder don't mean that they growed up. An elder can still be stagnant as a youth, bro. And you have to understand that, bro.
Bro,
If you're growing up in the hood and your schools ain't teaching you
yeah,
shit, you ain't learned
elder,
shit.
just because I'm 40 don't mean that I'm 40. I
Just
could be
because you
20
graduate
and
from high
40.
school don't mean that you can read and write.
So that's
It's called dyslexia. It's called mental health problems. Like people are kept back. People are special ed. People are fucked up. So if you don't understand that, then you can't relate to the people, bro.
Yeah, nobody I be talking to about is slow
I'm
at
slow.
all.
I'm special ed.
You definitely not slow.
Yes, I am.
You definitely not
I'm
slow,
special ed
brother.
like a motherfucker.
you my friend. I don't
Listen
I
what
don't
I'm
care.
telling you.
I don't care what you've been through and what your past was. Right now,
No. I have changed my mindset because I have learned. But I'm special ed like a motherfucker.
the old you was special ed.
Okay,
don't say
but-
I am. Say I
But
was.
listen, but that's my point. I had to come to the realization of who I am and who I have become. But I'm special ed like a motherfucker. I come from poverty. I come from the Magnolia. I come from being ignorant. I come from shooting heroin and cocaine. I come from that. So if I run across a motherfucker that's doing the same thing that I come from, I'm gonna overstand that, damn, they probably don't be where I'm at because I didn't been there before. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, the hip hop industry rewards I was this as opposed to I am this. So a lot of brothers who done grown up, who have evolved, they don't feel comfortable showcasing that to the world currently because they like, what y'all paying me for though is them dope fiend days. Them days, what y'all paying me for is them days when I was really slinging that iron. You heard me?
Well, not me, because I have changed tremendously and I get persecuted for it. I'm speaking from having an overstanding, trying to get a overstanding, bro. And if you don't have an overstanding, you most definitely not gonna get one. That's all I'm saying. You can't come off like as I'm better than you, and I ain't never ate crab dinner. I always ate macaroni. I ain't never ate macaroni. I always ate crab dinner. However you want to put it. I ain't never ate pork chops. I've been eating steaks. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we gotta put ourselves in other people's shoes, and that's what called empathy, dog. That's not compromising. That's overstanding.
So when a multimillionaire who got several corporate partnerships and deals, and they up in the rap game, they up financially, and when they still choose to rap about a lifestyle and glorify, not narrate, but glorify a lifestyle that A, you know they're not living at this point in life, and B, you know, anybody with ears know, man, this is detrimental to the communities we come from. I can't just be silent about that. And I think more of us need to be like, like if we keep not saying nothing about it, it's gonna make that seem normal.
How you say it is what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't say nothing.
Yeah.
But how you go to a person like who's a billionaire and say you're wrong, is he gonna receive it? Do you know how to approach a billionaire and tell him he wrong?
It's a lot of people who because they're a billionaire, they feel like you're not even worthy to talk to them.
Nah, it's the approach. Are you approaching the billionaire the right way? At the end of the day, they still a human being. What they have become don't mean shit when you know how to communicate to them, dog. And that's just what it is.
KRS-One. When you met him, what was that conversation like?
Yeah. You want to know the truth?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we ain't really talk about nothing too much. It looked better on Instagram than it was in real life, bro. We both performed at this concert in Virginia Beach, and we met real quick.
You
know
you
what
were
I'm saying?
capping.
You said I was capping?
Yeah.
What I said?
I mean, you made
said-
it look like it wasn't something what it was.
I mean, we definitely met. He definitely know who I am. We definitely shut
You
off.
just said it out your mouth. You say I made it look Instagramish, but you Dee-1, you don't want to make it look like nothing.
Look at this
Because
dude.
I thought that y'all had a good
You
conversation.
feel me? We don't fake it now.
No,
we want you
hurts
to
me.
be. We want you to be on a 10, not on a 5.
All
We want
right,
you
be
to
on the 10. Yeah, I'm being on the 10 about.
But you kept it real though. You
Yeah,
kept it
yeah,
10.
that's
you
10.
kept it real.
The
but
10
that's what I'm
was-
saying.
yeah,
You related. I ain't gonna even lie. That's all I'm saying. Try
Right.
to do that more, bro. Like, don't try to always say I'm on a 10 when you know it wasn't on a 10. You just kept it real so niggas can
Right.
relate to that. Damn.
Right.
Okay, Dee-1 is like us.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
Okay,
saying.
now I got another subject because I know you got shit you got to do, D1.
What's happening?
Drake and Kendrick Lamar.
That was bad for hip hop.
What were your stance on that,
Yeah,
sir?
my stance was I wish these brothers stop because this is bad for hip hop. Like it just is, bro. We wanted to pick sides, and nothing has changed because of that beef. Nothing has changed for the better. Nothing.
Yeah.
And in hip hop, I learned that people want to try to micromanage beef. So fans want the beef, but they
Fantaside.
don't want the bullets. You
Yeah.
heard me? So they'll egg the beef on, but soon as some bullets get involved, whoa, keep it hip hop. You can't tell two grown men that y'all egging on and got them beefing to, like, you can't tell them, they crews, they families, they friends. You can't tell them, all right, but keep it within these boundary lines just for our entertainment's sake. So it was bad for
They
hip hop.
kept it there though. I could honestly say Drake and Kendrick kept it there, and I feel like that was controlled, whatever they had going on, and now people just are giving their 2 cents on it because they both moving on with their life and they both still rich and they both still living how they was living. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
So who lost?
Yeah, hip hop lost, man. That wasn't that showcased that we just want to be entertained by any means necessary. We don't care if people are lying about saying that you beat your wife. We don't care if people are lying about saying you're a pedophile. Because if people was really concerned about those accusations that they was making about each other, people would be like, nah, like we need to see Drake prosecuted because he a pedophile. Like that he can't continue to just live as a free man.
But is hip hop always real like that? Like, I think people be taking it to the extreme, like trying to hold rappers as this is how I gotta be. Bro, if everybody was like how they rap, bro, it'll be a whole lot of RICO charges being put out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't think everybody is living up to what they rap. It's entertainment, bro. And that's what we need to get back to.
Yeah.
We gonna entertain, they gonna be entertained and not judge people because it's entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My question would be this, D. With you working at the White House and dealing with a lot of different legislators and stuff like that, how do we get people to fund the kind of content that needs to be created?
Okay.
Or how to tell a label to say, okay, if your urban department has 10 rappers, you got to at least have 2 of them not be drill rappers.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's just the law now.
Yeah. Ooh. So if you make it law, it infringes upon freedom of speech, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, that's the First Amendment." Like y'all going too far. Some countries won't allow violent lyrics on the radio. You know, they have outlawed it, they have banned it.
Yeah.
But those countries don't have the same constitution that we have.
Okay.
So I think instead of trying to tell labels to have more of a moral compass, we want them to have more of a moral compass. But how long are we gonna wait until we realize they don't care about us? You know what I mean? We just need new commissioners.
Yeah.
So we need new people that are in a position to say, hey, I can pay some creators to go out here and create a different type of music. That's what we need, bro. We need new commissioners. We need people that are able to, because if you tell a starving artist to rap about lotion, he gonna rap about lotion. Man, I need 10 songs about lotion. That boy gonna bring you an album back next week about lotion, about gel, about all the ingredients inside the lotion, about the serial number. Like, artists are just hungry to get paid oftentimes. So we just need people that's in a position to say, we gonna pay you, but we gonna pay you to not glorify this type of stuff, but to rap more about this type of stuff. And that's what I'm gonna start shifting off into, is working to either be that person that can pay those people and incentivize those people to do that, or working with the people that can pay them and saying, this is what y'all need to use y'all money towards. Because art really does change lives. Art heals pain. Art can do wondrous things when we use it for a purpose that is truly noble. You know what I mean?
Exactly. With that being said, I mean, what do you need your people to know before you slide, Dee-1?
Oh, man, I need y'all to know my 12th album, Loaded, is dropping on August 21st, you heard me?
Oh.
Go pre-save that thing right now on any streaming platform. Go pre-order it on iTunes. We trying to debut at #1 in the whole world, you heard me? And if I could debut, bro, if I could do that, that ain't for me, Turk.
Yeah.
That's just for the industry and for the world to see. Like, man, the little dude going against the grain, keeping God first, talking his talk, ain't bowing down to nobody, and still got enough people to support him to where he came out #1. That's why. I don't do it because I need to put a plaque up on my wall, or I need some more bread in my
just let
pocket.
God will be done, and whatever it be, that's what it is.
Believe it, and that's what I'm doing. So it's a fine line to where I can still promote my stuff and set goals, but not be upset if we don't debut #1. That's perfectly fine if not. But Loaded, the new album featuring Raheem Devon, Fredo Bang, Project Pat. Oh man, that thing. Starlito, you heard me? My dog Starlito on there. Man, bro, this album's so cold, bro.
Crazy.
So go get that.
Hey, who you dropping? Are you doing independent or you signed with somebody?
100% independent.
Okay.
100% independent.
Support.
Come on now. We gonna run those numbers up, son.
Yeah.
Thank you, my G.
And
So
always.
I got that going, and that's and I think that's about it. I got my children's book out. David Found His Slingshot. You could get that from Dee1music.com, DEE, the #1 music.com. And man, bro, I just appreciate this, bro. I gotta every few months I need this for my system because it challenges me. You heard me? It empowers me and it keep me sharp. You heard me?
Yeah.
And then plus I always gotta put Turk in his place. You heard me? So I gotta every few months I just gotta come and
You know what,
let
Turk just gotta get into it every time.
You heard me?
Like, it's all love. It's all
every
love,
few
man.
months.
Hey,
Yeah,
man, y'all
love.
heard the man.
Yeah.
Get down with the movement. Be Hot Radio shouted. The original hot boy himself, Mr. YNT Turk, Dee-1.
Yeah.
We gone. Got you.
You know, we do it the right way.